Started off dearly beloved.
This is not going to be good. This is not going to be good. What damn idea was this? This is not good. Oh, Ben, how rotten can you get? God Put a mug on that thing in there.
Just don't drop it.
You got one sick daughter, Bill.
Have a seat.
If you can.
Silverson, up start, sit down.
Alright, Pastor.
Shut the door. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here this afternoon to celebrate a less than perfect life.
Amen.
Bill White was a good man.
No,
No, you're
Liar.
He was kind of a good man. And we're reminded of Romans 8:28, which says, all things work for the greater good. Even Bill White. He tried to work for the greater good.
Just didn't work.
He tried to do the right thing. And his family celebrates his life.
William.
They love him anyway. We're going to hear from several family members this afternoon who put up with Bill for many, many years. And the person who's put up with him most of all is his beloved wife, Jan. We all feel sorry for Jan.
Amen.
Jan, you have some things you want to say about this man.
Well, I just have a little bit to say. You know, there's so many Bill stories. I can begin to tell all the Bill stories. But you know, and all through our married life, I had one competition. That was work. I worked 6-7 days a week, daylight till dark. And it was just constant me wanting to try to get time with him. Well, then he buys the lumber yard. So not only are we working all day long, we're taking bids, we're on the phone all evening long. So I decided I'm going to get his attention. The house we lived in at that time, his office was here and the big room in between, and our bedroom was over here. So I go into the bathroom and I fill that jacuzzi up, and I got me some dishwashing liquid and I squirted in there, and the suds were like this tall. I put those suds all over me, and I walked just as slow as I could because they'd slide off. And I called in there, Bill, like he's on the phone. He turned around and looked and he said, I gotta go.
Who is Bill's oldest child? I know he's got many, probably several we don't know about. Where is Bill's oldest child?
Miss, I would be the present oldest child.
The present oldest child.
I'm only that old though.
Did you want to say a few words about your dad?
Why, of course you do.
Missy, stand up.
Johnny's a bitch. My first memory of my father, I was about 3 years old, and I was putting a piece of gum in the trash. And he came by and just went, whoop, and it came clear up off the ground. And for playing in the trash can. I got a spanking for playing in the trash can.
Oh.
And I said, Dad.
No good son, bitch.
I said, Dad, I was just getting rid of my gum. And he said, okay, I owe you one. So that night, we went to somebody's house and he was after money, I'm sure. So he ran into the house to get something. And while he was in there, I just laid on the horn. And he came running out there, and I said, you owed me one. for sale sign on it. I said, what's that camper doing in front of the house? He said, I went to an auction and I was just picking my nose and I just bought me a camper. And then the wind came up and blew it all the way across the yard. And I guess that's how I'll always remember him.
Again, his nose?
He was a good father. As I got older, he went to the casinos with me. He also introduced my girls to those finer things in life. And his camper, we go camping together. And I'm not embarrassed to be parked by him, but it's really close. And one day some women came to the camper and knocked on the door. Oh, they just were coming in to their camper. And so Jan opened the door and said, may I help you? And we think they were going in to rob the camper. So when Dad came out, I said, Dad, look at all those campers down there. You'd think they'd pick something a little bit nicer. They were going to go rob something. So the next day, the refrigerator went out on his camper. And he had to take it to get it fixed. And when he took it into the lot, the guy said, I think you just ought to buy something new. Then he said, my daughter said it yesterday, and now you said it today. Everybody hurts my feelings over the camper. And he just told me yesterday, he's making another bed to go in there. He's on about his third one. I think last time we went camping, he slept on the floor. Things are not working out too good on that. So I hope before he is really in this box, that he buys a camper.
Where is our Billy White? Now you keep it clean, young man.
Like that's gonna happen.
Take it hard. He's taking it hard. Poor fella.
Check his pockets.
Are you speechless, son?
It done went through the body. But I found me some wings like
Hey, I got dibs on the pack of cigarettes in the pack before we put it in the drink.
But there ain't no lead headwinds in there. I worked with Bill, Big Bill, as he likes to be called. He pays people to call him that. I worked with him since I was 7 years old, so I've been knocked off roofs, been hit in the head with a board, been screamed at, trampled through mud, watched him jump off of one of the split levels. The feller wouldn't move his truck so I could turn on the compressors. Dad jumps off from the deck about 8 feet below, now, all 120 pounds. I told you to move that son of a bitch. And this was probably a 70-year-old lumber truck driver. So I have all these memories. We went on the road together and we built homes in 5, 6 different states. We were in, I believe it was Wichita one time. I kept telling Dad I was cold. He said, you're right, boy, you're right. No, it's cold. No, you're right. We got in the trailer and the beer had frozen. In the trailer, in front of the heater. That's when he decided we could go home because he couldn't have a beer. But I think my most disturbing memory. My father.
Here, girl. Here, Mom.
It was. It may be a little embarrassing to Jan too, and I apologize. I was down at the house and I went in the house, grabbed me a beer, had a shot. Couldn't find nobody, so heard some racket down there in the barn. Went down there and there's Dad. He's rubbing on his tractor. Well, he loves his tractor. Okay, I understand that. We all know how much you feel about his tractor, don't we, Mike? But he's standing there talking to his tractor, and I thought, I'll kind of watch this out. And he reached over and unpopped one of his bibbies and let it slide. He's rubbing on the tractor and he's talking to it. He reaches over and then slides the other one, lets it slide down. Stand there in the tiny whiteies that are way too big, and a ripped up flannel shirt. You are kills open the flannel shirt. And I kicked the door open and I said, what in the hell are you doing? What's going on here? You know how hefty to a tractor.
Sicko! You sicko!
I'm very, very sorry.
This ain't good.
Do we have Stephen
He's not
here?
very sick.
Oh, I'm so sorry that Stephen is sick. I'm sure he would have had some wonderful stories.
He's probably sick of Dad.
He probably
You
is.
should be glad he's not here.
Miss Penny,
Oh, it's my turn.
it's your turn.
Now this will be the rottenest of the bunch.
Darling Daddy. Everybody loves Daddy, or at least we all pretend to, until he's in the ground and we get our share. My fondest memory of Daddy. I'm waiting tables to pay for my first car at night. So during the day I get to rough houses with Daddy and Steve.
Oh, I've heard this story.
So Daddy and Steve rip off one side of the roof, and I stand underneath there and pick up the shingles, but they really don't care that you're underneath there, and if you get hit with the shingles, it's okay. When half of it's ripped off, I get to go on the roof now, which I had a great tan that year, by the way. So I climb up on the roof, and we're right on the main drag of Oak Grove. These people's house, these people are 75, 80 years old, right? And I line up the shingles, and Daddy shoots it with the nail gun. And he doesn't care if your hand's still there. He'll nail you to the roof. You got to move faster. Damn it, get your fucking fingers out of the way.
You work with him too, huh?
So I'm lining up the shingles as fast as I can without the blood running down my arm. And I'm moving along. And there's a soft spot in the roof. And I fall through the roof. And right through the attic, and onto the old people's floor. And this old man and this old woman are standing over me, freaking out. So Dad comes to the edge of the hole, and he looks down and said, when you get back up here, I'll time you back in. 2 1/4 an hour. Moral to my story is, Dad loves his children not as much as his money.
What can you say, right?
I'm so glad you're here for this.
Sit it in there.
Where is Dean Fly?
No, Carrie's going next.
Oh, Carrie's going.
We switched that up.
You switched
They
that.
share a birthday.
You share a
They're the
birthday?
twins. They're the twins.
Are you a twin?
Twins.
Yeah, that's my step twin.
Okay.
I was like, a roast. I don't know how much material I can come up with. I said, it's been a love-hate relationship from the start. And he showed up to pick up my mom. Oh my gosh, I thought he was the funniest looking, skinny little wrinkled up, got big ears. And we said, Mom, he's ugly. And it was all downhill from there. I was not crazy about my mom going out with this guy. The old man didn't know quite how to deal with an absent-minded, airheaded child. And I was nothing like his kids.
Have you met him?
And he has a unique way of getting his point across. I mean, he will tell you and tell you and tell you until you're ready to just stab yourself to make it stop. I didn't wash the dishes at one point, and he just put them in my bed under the covers. He didn't wash them first. We had a wood-burning stove, and you're supposed to leave the doors open so the heat would circulate through the house well, and I shut my door, so he just removed it from the hinges. What I hate about the time I got caught smoking pot in the kitchen, and then he put me to work cutting weeds out of the ditch in the front of the house.
With scissors.
Machete. I got to scrub out the cistern with bleach water too, and I'm not sure what I did to warrant that. I think it was something Penny did because I don't know. It was my fault for some reason. When I we went to the job site because Mom was all into equal rights, so he's going to put us all girls to work. So I had to go out there and pick up shingles, and well, I did it one hand at a time, and he had to explain to me about how using two fucking hands. But my favorite story was about the curling iron. The old man could always tell when there was some electricity burning in the house. He said, I can smell it. It's in the upstairs bathroom. And he'd go up there, and sure enough, I swear there would be a light on or something. How in the heck he knew? He had me convinced he really could smell it. And I left the curling iron on way too many times. He went up there and he looked. It was plugged in the wall, and he said, no, that kid, she wouldn't do it to me. She wouldn't do it to me. He said, I was so sure, I just reached down and I just grabbed the son of a bitch. I'd be goddamn didn't burn me, because I was so pissed off I just sat there and held it for a minute. But I have to say that over the years my memory has improved. Really. I've learned work ethic and how to conserve energy and save money. I love you, old man.
We know.
All right. Who have we got left? Do we have Dean left? Come on up.
Wow! Let's hear it for Dean!
Praise the room.
There's the crowd, they're recognizing. It's all about Harold.
So most of you can put this together. I'm the youngest son and far and away the best looking one. And for the few of you that don't know me or don't know me very well, what I can tell you...
What's your name?
What I can tell you is that the acorn fell very, very far from the tree.
That's too bad for you.
On me. If there's a great story that defines my relationship with my father, when I'm 6 years old, the old man decides he's going to drag me out to help him clear brush. And he throws me in a truck and drags me out to some desolate nowhere. And
He drug all three of us, didn't he?
well, he probably did drag all three of us, or
You just remember
or 6 or 8 of us.
Leave it alone, Billy. It's his story. You got your turn.
Sorry, Mike.
At any rate, at 6 years old, about 15 minutes into the operation of picking up wood and scrub brush and whatever else the old man had for me, I began looking for management opportunities. And I told the old man, in no uncertain terms, Pop, I don't believe this is going to be my line of work. My exact words. And this was met with the old man's boot going about halfway up my ass. Being told, in no uncertain terms, to get back to work. I'm still looking for that management opportunity. Just for what it's worth, I want to focus a moment on how frickin' old 75 is. This actually is an old geezer. It really is. For what it's worth, when the old man was born, we did not have television. We did not have cell phones.
Well, duh.
We did not have software because we didn't have hardware. The credit card had not been invented when the old man was born. Grass was something you cut. Pot was something you cooked in. And aides were people that helped you with your decisions. And yet, at 75, the old man's doing okay. In fact, last week he went to the doctor. He's still a man's man. And the doctor asked him, Bill, show me your sex organs. And the old man went... Really? Come on, he's 75. I'm going to run down the short list. And believe me, this is the short list of the things broken on this 75-year-old body. Everyone knows he's had a face job, right? He's actually had an eye lift. It didn't really take.
No, it took too well. Now he sleeps with his eyes open.
Willie, show us that sex organ. He sawed the end off of it a good 30 years ago. He broke his nose one year, and it took him about 5 years to get to a doctor to have it fixed. He doesn't breathe right. He has a broken jaw that never fixed right, and his teeth are falling out. Got skin cancer on your neck, Willie?
past that.
His stomach, and this is amazing to me, his stomach is actually not a normal human stomach. It's made of a space-age plastic, which interestingly enough, he had installed only about 5 years into the space age. And yet there it is.
When I started driving. I had to get a new stomach when I started driving.
Yeah.
The man has no prostate. His spinal cord is actually held together. It's called a spinal fusion. But if you know the old man, that means they used baling wire. He seriously has enough wrinkles on his face to create another face. The old man's got more chins than a trained phone book. And there's no mistaking this, he probably has the skinniest ass in the room. In spite of that, I gotta tell you, the old man just ain't in bad shape. It's a combination of good genes and anything but good living. But my belief, I'll testify, sister, that I think the old man is just getting started. And I don't want to be the buzzkill at this party, but Willie, I love you. I want you to stay with us a very long time.
It seems like it. Yeah.
I will leave the rest of you with the words of Dylan Thomas, who penned the following in 1624. Do not go gentle into that good night. Old age should burn and rage at the close of day. Though wise men at their end know dark is right, because their words had forked no lightning, they do not go gentle into that good night. Wild men who caught and sang and hung the sun in flight, and learned too late that they grieved on its way, do not go gentle into that good night. And you, my Father, on your great height, curse us and bless us now with your first tears. Do not go gentle into that good night, and rage against the dying of the light. I love you, Bob.
I think we can all feel fairly certain that he will not go gentle into that.
He don't do that gentle.
At this time, there may be grandchildren who have a favorite story, other people who have a favorite story. If you've got a favorite story, you need to come tell it now. He needs to
I'm just saying my grocery bill's going down.
That man's been kicked enough. Let him up. I ain't feel sorry for him.
Grandchildren,
Come on,
you
Leroy.
need to tell grandpa's story.
Leroy, testify. You got some testify, Leroy. Thank you,
The third. That's
He's third.
Yes, so Billy's third.
Billy's third.
There you go.
Love you, old man.
I've always thought that.
That's beautiful.
You haven't really taught me well. You got me kicked out of speech class. You told me to pee on a truck on 39th Street. And I don't know. You fell in a fire while watching me.
This is laughing.
You're just, I love you. Go back to school.
You got a story to tell? Got a story to tell? Sarah, do you have a story to tell about
The story I have, Grandma tells much better than I do.
What's that?
When you guys were babysitting me when I got my tonsils taken out.
Yes.
You tell that story way better than I do, Grandma.
You want to tell that story to us?
Well, Shelby and Aunt Amber both had their tonsils out at the same time. So I told their mothers, I'll stay at home and I'll take care of them. So I had one downstairs and one upstairs. And Shelby was the youngest, and so I put her in a reclining chair in our bedroom because I want to be sure I heard her if she woke up in the night. Bill sits up in the middle of the night just screaming, I want my fucking money!
That was the scariest way I've ever been woken up.
She laughed so hard.
And it hurt bad.
Oh my.
Jordan, where's Jordan?
Pippi, Pippi, Pippi,
Pippi!
Pippi.
Come on, Pippi.
kid more than
We can go with that one.
Sarah, do you have
Ain't you ready to
grandpa's
come?
story?
I just remember whenever
Stand up
Grandma,
there.
whenever Grandma and Grandpa would come over to our house on Sunday afternoons, and Grandma would always want to go and play in the pool with us or whatever. Every time Grandpa did the buzzkill, always with the watch and the out the door. It's time to go, Grandpa. Every single time it was getting good. Really.
You gotta get the snap of the fingers.
It's about time to go. That's all I hear. Don't you think we should be getting you home? That's the thing. It's
Damn near 3 o'clock. We gotta get to bed.
And when she says pool, she means a horse tank.
Oh, okay. All
That's
right.
how we were raised. The horse thing is.
Abby, you have a story about your great grandpa? No. How about Trey? Do you have a story about your great grandpa?
Trey, turn it loose. You know all the secrets.
Abby, you should have a story because you were.
There's not very many.
The original wife.
You're the golden child.
Yeah.
There's not very many people in this world
I think Ryan needs.
who get to attend
think
their
Ray
old
does
too.
too.
And they get to hear everything that everybody's saying.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm that whole goddamn world.
I always say at 75, he looks just the same
And
as
so
he did
in
that
closing,
first day I
we'd
saw him.
just
He's
like
always been
to
old as
say-
hell.
We'd just like to say, we hope it gets better for you.
Just the damn thing.
We hope that your world is good. We hope you live a long, long time. Not close to everybody. Just that you live a long, long time. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you. I do have one other thing to say. Grandpa, stay away.
That's the little girlfriend he tries to keep me away from.
Sam, we got here. Aren't you the one in love?
He wasn't gonna say nothing bad about you, no? He didn't want to say what she's like.